lovely spot. What a lovely spot. I'm right in a deep hole here. I bet it's good for bream here. Wow. Beautiful spot. Okay, down the river we go. Take you on a journey down to my next spot. This is the exact spot that the two chaps said about carp, like 20 pounders, 25 pound carp, 15 pound barbel the last week. So this is where I'm going to be setting up for the next video, and then I'll be going out, down, round the corner, all the way up, out, God knows how far, and I'm going to go to another little spot that I know that I pre-baited right at the beginning of the video. Okay, so here we go again on the River Thames, second part of the day. I don't like to make the videos too long. The last one was an hour and 10 minutes long, so it's quite a hard watch, you know, for YouTube. It's really short form video, really, to be honest with you. But so I'm trying to sort of halve the amount of time. If I can get a half an hour video, that would be a lot more sensible, wouldn't it? So, but anyway, we're on the second part now. So doing the same thing. So last week's video, which would have been this morning's, that sounds weird, doing exactly the same thing as before, putting my paste on, trout pellet, highly blended, very fine, 3mm high oil trout pellet, very high oil trout pellet. When you buy your trout pellet, make sure it's as dark as you can get, as black as possible. If it's got any light brown in it, it's okay as long as it's high oil, but if you can get hold of that really dark stuff, that really is sticky. Just keep moulding it around, putting pressure on it around the boilie. Now remember, as I say every time on my vids, remember to keep the end of the paste ball that's going to hit the water first, keep it very smooth, because the bait hits the water that way, you know, it gets pulled down by the weight splash. So you really want that to be nice and central and very rounded, and dunk it in the water, doesn't matter, because it just goes harder and harder, so it stays on the cast. I'm going to add a bit more bait to this, a bit more paste to this. I want to be a little bit sneaky, so I'm not going to put too much on. I normally put quite a big chunk of paste on, but this is quite a small amount for me. Small weights as well, so I'm normally up to the 2 ounce, normally 2 to 3 ounce sometimes, but on these little tiny areas, and especially from a boat, you don't need much weight at all, you know, because you don't have much line in the water to sort of drag your weight around, you know, you're fishing straight from the back pretty much. So, well, wish me luck on this episode, this other half. Don't forget to hit the like, the subscribe, notification bell if you don't mind. It's just a case of, if you're on a phone, just go out, look, watch my thumb. Oh, there we go, done it. Hit the like, does the channel absolute real magic, you know, really helps the channel out a lot. So helps put me up forward, you know, in front and sort of into the most popular and the recommendations, really, that's what it is. Yeah, just letting the pace go hard here now. So we're still on the River Thames, if you didn't see the last video, or the one before that, and the one before that, one before that. We're still on the River Thames. Can't tell you exactly where it is here. If you do comment and you know the place, it will get deleted straight away as soon as I see it. But also I'll be putting a filter in, so there's a lot of sort of landmarky areas so I'll put the names in, and if somebody wants to spoil it for everybody else, then they'll put in that tag, that certain name of something, and when they go to send a message, it won't send, so it just won't actually appear. So Personally, I think that's brilliant. It gives my channel a lot more control. That's that bar. I just felt it's a sandbar type area there. That's exactly where he was saying, I think. I hope I've got that right. It looked quite yellow as I was coming back up, well, I was coming up this way, so. But I'm not going to say where this spot is. It's the only video so far out of all sorts of free fishing videos that I've done. Free fishing, parking, and great access on the Thames, and a couple of other spots at the moment. Going to be expanding all of that soon, but so I can't tell you exactly where it is, I'm afraid. It's not like me to do that, because it's the opposite to what my channel is. My channel is all about information for fishing, so you know where to go, you name it, you know. So I'm sorry I can't tell you where it is. Like I said, if you do know, please don't put it in the comments. Just put in, I know where that is, you did this wrong, or you haven't really done much wrong, or you shouldn't have used paste, you should be using, guess what, luncheon meat. Yeah, I know, but not fully prepared today for luncheon meat, I'm afraid, so wasn't expecting to use it. But I had a nice bream up here just earlier on the last video. Quite a big bream. Had another tap, but it's just boats launching constantly, so paddle boarders and all sorts of things, so it was a real nightmare splashing around, someone taking the outboard off their boat and banging and crashing around just after I cast just behind his boat, which didn't help. So so I've just moved back down here, which is the area I would like to sort of go to. I pre-baited this morning when I left from the car park. I'll show you the car parking at the end. Amazing car parking, Slipway, you name it, all there free, 24 hours a day. So I'll show you the car park on the way home anyway, but there's a spot that I pre-baited in the last video right at the beginning, fairly near the beginning. Put a load of boilies in, and that's this same day. So I'm going to go back there and finish off the last hour there as well, because I had a big bream from there yesterday, no, a couple of 3 days ago, and I lost I lost a decent fish there, don't know what it was, and had a little tap as well. So yeah, anything could come out of this spot, I've been told. 25 pound carp, quite a few chub, barbel up to 15, 16 pounds or something. I've heard there's been a couple caught very, very recently. But like I say, it's a little bit tucked away. You can't really get to this spot unless you're a local and you know how to get to here. But fingers crossed we winkle something decent out. So wish me luck. Here we go. I'll show you the weir where I came from. It's absolutely gorgeous. It is proper. I'm going to say it again. Swallow and Amazon style, really. It's absolutely lovely. Keep your eye on the rod for me. Oh, there we go, up the middle there. That's where I was. Beautiful weir at the top. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So I'll pop my camera back on my head. I am saving battery at the moment because I've done 3 already and I'm already halfway through the 4th. So, and I've got quite a bit to do yet. So I am turning the camera on and off occasionally. I was told big carp and barbel out of here. There's one caught 20 pound, another one caught 25 pound carp, 15 pound barbel the other day, and I was talking to a lovely couple at the weir for about 20 minutes last trip out here a couple of days ago, and also today, and they were both saying to go to this spot, so that's where we are now. If you're interested in belly boats in general, don't forget I've got all the information in the description of this video below, so there'll be all the links to the boat, the 12bb.eu Jumbo XL NP, I think it is, 2.1 meters long, big belly boat, one of the biggest you can get. Electric motor by Bellyboat tuning. The tuning, it's T-O-O, it's spelt, so Bellyboat tuning, sorry, yeah, Bellyboat tuning. So I'll leave the link below for you for that. If you're interested in that sort of thing, I've got quite a few videos on the sea, deep sea fishing, off next to a lighthouse 7 miles out to sea with ferries and big ships going past and stuff. That was mad. A nice dive we did there. Pete did a dive, got all of that footage. Loads of showing you exactly where I'm fishing over, all the detritus that's around the lighthouse, you know, from years and years of refurbishing and rebuilding and stuff. That's in the Solent, in between the Isle of Wight and sort of Portsmouth, on the south coast of England. Solent's quite a well-known stretch of water, one of the busiest stretches of water. It's the most expensive ferry trip in the world, I think. That might be a bit out of date now, but for the miles, it's just you can see it where you got to go. It costs an absolute fortune. So yeah, so I do a lot of that harbour fishing, bass, and trying to get flounder, but they're so rare. I said that in the last vid. Very, very rare. But that will be my challenge this winter. I go out in the winter. I've been out at 6 degrees, 5 degrees water, 6 degrees air temperature, going down to about 4 degrees in the evening, and I was a little bit chilly, but okay. I had all the right equipment on. I'll leave the links for all my equipment in the description as well. So we've got my chest waders, sock foot waders, neoprene style windsurfing boots, you know, and then over the top of those, and then a pair of flippers. So life jacket, got my rod rest there, and all the controls and everything there. All the extra bits, they come from 12bb.eu. I've got reviews of the stuff and unboxings and things of all the stuff, and videos of that in my Bellyboat fishing fun, I think it's called, that playlist. So if you want to check that out, this really is I've only posted, as of today, I've only posted one video on the River Thames of me actually fishing rather than walking the stretches, filming them and filling everybody in on it. So this is really quite new to me, freshwater fishing, so and on camera as well, you know, so it's a bit different. It's a different style compared to the sea. I'm with my mates normally when I'm out in the harbours and out at sea, so we have a right laugh, you know. It's not quite as relaxed as this, so I have to get my head around that. It's probably better night fishing here, I'd imagine. It's better night fishing anywhere on the Thames, really, to be honest. But next year I'll be doing that. It's getting a bit late in the season now, but I do have an A-frame that I've made up for the Bellyboat, and I've got a 40-watt floodlight that will go on it quite nicely, and with the GoPro, so you'll be able to see a bit better. So I'll be putting that together at some point. So I'll do some night fishing, you know, as well, which will be quite different, more productive, that's for sure. But not so nice views. The views aren't anywhere near as nice at night, obviously. Yeah. Oh, don't know if I've actually shared this with you today on this half of the video. That's all my tackle. My boilie stops are just in a little packet somewhere there, but that's literally all I need for the day. Well, for 3. This is the 4th day now. This was pretty much full, so I'm on my 3rd session, sorry. So I've only used this much trout pellet, breadcrumb mixed in with it, finely, really finely coffee ground, high oil trout pellet, really high oil stuff. A little bit of crab trout pellet in there because it breaks down at different sort of. It's a bit quicker to break down, so, and it leaves slightly chunkier bits in when you blend it as well, which is really good. It's nice to have little extra large bits in your paste. They wash out and then help to spin the water around in the divot that they've just created by coming off of the ball of paste. So there's a gap like that, and the water goes like that around it and wears it out to the next bit that's loose, pops that out, does it again. So a little bit of ground bait in there. I've got a bit of method mix in there, so it's 4/5, I would say, roughly, highly blended trout pellet into a powder, and then just about 1/5 of a chunky ground bait, you know, something with a few little extra bits of seed in it, that type of thing, you know, hemp maybe, that type of thing. So yeah, that's all I use. 12 quid for the week on bait. Can't argue with that. Free fishing, free parking, free access to all of this where I am now and where I was, well, whenever you see me, it's nearly always free fishing, free parking and great access. Loads on the Thames. Some of it you can drive up, open the boot of the car and fish from the back of it, you know. It's unbelievable. There's so much of it on the River Thames. We've had such a hot week, so we're coming out of 3 weeks ago. We had 33, 34 degrees when I was down here, and it was just, I just melted. So there was no, the fishing was really hard, to be honest with you. But it has cooled down just slightly. It's about 26 degrees, 27 degrees, 26 degrees today. But we had a bit of rain a few days ago, but not anything to really help the rivers at all. So there's just, they're very low oxygen in the water at the moment due to the lack of water. There's that lovely waterfall weir behind me that I showed in the last video. I was quite close. I actually motored up to that and had a bit of a motor around just to show you it. It's absolutely beautiful. It's parakeets. Lots of parakeets in London around the Thames. They thrive here. Yeah, but it's a lovely spot. But I mean, it hasn't cost a penny, other than the investment of a boat, you know, and everything like that. That's not cost a penny. Oh, and camping, of course. You know, I have to camp, so because I don't live locally, so I do have to travel quite a way. So, but it's the closest to my heart, I think. This spot, the closest to my heart, the River Thames. I love it. There's something about it. Right, that's been in the water for about half an hour now, something like that, I suppose. Yeah, a good half an hour, 3/4 of an hour, I'd imagine, somewhere around that. So I'm thinking about recasting, maybe going into the middle a little bit more. It felt really nice there. It felt like a sandy bottom almost. So you can sort of almost imagine it hitting how it feels when it hits the bottom, you know. It's not silt, so it's got to be sand and gravel. So I'm not in the wrong spot so much, but maybe just a little bit too close maybe to the bank, I don't know. We'll give it a little bit more time, and then I'll reel in and have another cast. It's probably somewhere about maybe either a third off the bank or a third off the bank that way. I'm not sure yet. I don't know the area, like I say, and I can't see the bottom here at all, so it's deeper here. So whereas before I was fishing in between the streamer weed up there, it was lovely. I could pick my spot pretty much. So it's a bit of a hit and hope, you know. Yep, I think I'm going to change spots. Oh, I'm glad I did, because it snagged. So that would not have worked at all, would it? Okay. There we go. I think it's just weed. Should be all right. Yeah, it is just streamer weed. It felt like it. That's okay. That's not too bad. But I have lost my bait, so I'm gonna rebait quickly. I've shown the rig in the last video. I don't think I have in this video. No, I haven't. There's my rig. It's paced around a little 1 ounce lead, 1 and a bit. It's a running lead, right? It doesn't run, but it's a running lead. It's got a slight bolt rig action to it. It's not much of a bolt rig because of the lack of weight here, you know, but it is a form of bolt rig, you know, so you can just pull it in with a bit of pressure like that, and it will just snap out like that. Never tangles. Never ever had a tangle pretty much ever, I don't think, with this rig. It's my go-to. It's old school, but it works. So, you know, if it works and you're confident in it, especially with fishing, use it, you know. If the fish are there and they're hungry, then if you're confident in your tackle and what you're doing, the process, then it's all you can really do, isn't it? They did mention luncheon meat to me yesterday, a couple of days ago when I spoke to the chaps, 2 different chaps, lovely couple on a boat actually. I did speak to them, and one of them said, the chap who I met on the Slipway, he said to use luncheon meat here. So, but I haven't really come prepared for that at the moment. So, but I will be back again in September. I'm going to come back to here. Hopefully there'll be a bit more water flowing, And I'm probably might even use a bit of bread on the stick float here actually. It's perfect for that. In fact, it's perfect for the waggler being as I'm on board a boat, you know, so your line's directly behind you, so it's going directly out, so you don't have to worry about the drag so much sinking the waggler. So you could use a stick float obviously if you prefer, but I'm going to run a bit of bread down here I think at some point. I'll do that. Because all the houses up here, I've seen 2 people feeding ducks and swans in separate places, and there was no ducks and swans there. So they're just throwing food in and it's sinking to the bottom. And because this spot's probably never, well, this might be fished a little bit because there's a tiny bit of access here, but from here up and all the way down there, I don't suppose it's hardly ever seen a line because it's really, you need a boat to get to it, you know. So, but remember, keep that rounded near the hook to stop it ripping, so everything's nice and smooth, no hard edges. Give it the normal dunk like that, but I don't think there's many rods, lines have been put in the water here, to be honest with you, compared to other spots. So I had a lot of paddle boarders and God knows what, and a family launched from their back garden right next to me, let 2 canoes go, and they went straight across the river into my swim, and then they had to paddle and go and get them. So I didn't have much luck there. I think I might have spooked them a bit myself with catching that fish, because it did take a while to come in, and it was what's the word, flopping around, a big bream, you know, so normal thing what they do. But right, I'll just try, yeah, I'm going to try straight in front like that. There we go. It's got a decent amount of depth to it. It's completely different to what I have been fishing today. The first episode, cool, definitely different to that. Or first part of this session, I should say. So let's see. Right, I'm going to have to turn my battery off again. Like I say, I've used 3 batteries. I've only got 1.5 left now, so I'll turn it off, and if I get a bite or see anything interesting, I'll turn it back on for you. You know what? If it wasn't for the planes going over, it'd be completely silent here, and we are right, well, just on the outskirts. We're right in the middle of London, really, just on the outskirts of London. We're inside the M25, quite a way, and I just can't believe how quiet it is. It's lovely. Get the odd disturbance here and there like you do, but it's absolutely lovely. Parakeets flying around and all sorts. I just wish my rod would go. Just for you guys, not for me. I want you to see a shining barbel. That's what I would like. £10 carp, 5 to £10 carp, or a 4 to 6, maybe £8 barbel would be lovely from here. Maybe next time when I come back, I'm definitely coming back here, I'll be using luncheon meat, especially up there. Yeah, I'll probably roll some luncheon meat around the weir, just below the weir actually. There's lots of streamer weed, it gets very shallow, and it's just your typical, well, it looks like a not very clear River Avon up there, you know, Hampshire Avon type style. Looks lovely. Got to give a shout out to my mate for taking my other half out to try and pick up a car today. Tomorrow. He's picking her up early in the morning. They're going to be driving off to where, oh God knows where, to be honest with you, trying to replace a car. She's had a hire car for a while, so thank you so much, bud, for sorting that out for me while I'm away. Absolutely brilliant. Can't believe it. Tell you what, I have such a good group of friends, it's unbelievable, and they're all people, that's a bite, and they're all people that I've been brought up with from really young. I mean, that's definitely a bite. Why isn't my camera turning on? Oh crap, it is on. That was definitely a little nibble though. Just a little, just a nibbler. There's something going on there. It might be the streamer weed, I don't know. I've got an hour and a bit left on the head cam when it comes to SD cards. That's 250 quid, 250 gig done. Another 250 gig on that camera. That's definitely a bite. I reckon it might be it's either streamer weed, right? It's either streamer weed that's doing that, knocking the line, or that's a bite. And it's weird how it's just changed now though, look. That has to be streamer weed, doesn't it? Don't really suffer from crayfish so much at all really on the Thames anymore, I don't. And the mitten crab, is it mitten crab? So you get sort of freshwater crabs as well, they can be a nightmare, but I haven't seen a mitten crab in years. Gosh, it must be 10 years since I've seen a mitten crab, I think they are. I think that's what they're called. But sometimes you can see them tweaking at the line like that, you know, with their claws. They've got their bait in their mouth and they're just doing that. So keep your eyes open on that rod. Actually, when I think about it, the fact that I haven't seen any mitten crabs or been done by them in so long now, why is that? Is it the pollution, do you think? Maybe they're really susceptible to pollution. Maybe the food source that they were feeding off of, maybe the fish eggs, that type of thing. I don't know, they're not so prevalent anymore because there's a lot less big fish on the Thames as there used to be. Breeding fish, you know, that is. I wonder why that is, because they used to be everywhere. I say everywhere, that's a general assumption, from Staines down anyway. Staines Bridge to the tidal. Walton Lane area, that used to be mitten crab there. You get quite a few there, but I just don't get any. I've only had one, I think, in the last 15-20 years of fishing it. So yeah, see what the time is. I've got the bag on this side today because I couldn't keep bending round like this. On the other side it was killing me back, so I thought I might as well change it up a bit and kill the other side, get a bit of balance in my life. It's 5 o'clock. Jeez, 5 o'clock already. I've got just over 2 hours, 2.5 hours left, I think. Yeah, around about that. That's scary. It goes so quickly on a boat for some reason. Cool, and it was 26 degrees on the first half of this video, and now it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It's a little bit chilly, to be honest with you. You get that wind, oh, a little bit chilly. It's been a little while now, so I don't really know what I'm going to do here. You know, I am on a time restraint, so the fact that I have to be packed up at 7:30 is a real nightmare. So at the moment, because of the daylight and that, because there's nothing worse. I mean, I got back to the campsite on the last trip, okay, excuse me, I was in the car by 8 o'clock, I think, and I finished packing away at 10 to 11. I had to cook my tea while I was doing all that as well, so then I sat down for my dinner and it must have been about 11:30 by the time I finished. So that was an absolute killer, that was an absolute killer. So I have to be back at a decent time so I can give myself something to eat and pack everything up. And of course tomorrow, luckily I've got help tomorrow, I've got to pack up. So mind you, that's not difficult, it's simple. Deflate, throw it in a bucket, throw it in a bag, wrap the tent up. I'm really basic, I've hardly take any sort of camping gear with me, so I filled up a 40-litre roller water butt at the campsite when I got there 5 days ago, and I've still got about a quarter left, I think, something like that. Just a fridge. I make all my own food, mainly make most of my own food, and just warm it up when you need it, you know, freeze it and and defrost as you go sort of thing. So, but there's a lot of time needed for sorting this sort of stuff out when you're leaving, you know. There's a bite. Is that a bite? That's streamer weed, isn't it? Look, can you see that? Yeah, streamer weed. See, I just don't know this spot. Just don't know this spot. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to, I'll just have to spend a bit more time up here, really. You know, I'm blind, aren't I, at the end of the day? First time here, I can't see the bottom. I was told that there's carp and barbel up here, believe every word of it. No reason not to. Just, the problem is knowing where to cast, isn't it? I literally can't see the bottom at all, so I'll go slightly to the right this time, just a little bit further. Maybe I'm supposed to be casting right into the bank. I don't know. I mean, that's where you would imagine you get the carp and the, not necessarily the barbel, but the carp a bit more, I'd imagine. But maybe I'll just cast off that bank this time. Right, yeah, I'm going to do that. Might as well stick another boilie in amongst that mix. It's a good thing about this, you can pop the odd boilie into the paste as well if you've got the paste in the correct consistency. It sticks like crazy, so excellent. You're sort of baiting up a little bit while you go, aren't you? If you were to spend a day here casting in the same spot, which I don't have time for, then I imagine you'd probably do all right, to be honest. And there we go, there's the weight. You make sure it's rounded, nicely rounded. Paste weight, running lead, old school type of boom. My favourite type of clip, swivel clip, doesn't have any bits of wire sticking out the tangle anywhere and catch. Absolutely love them. I think they're the American style, something like that. I don't know, not sure exactly what they're called, but if you do know, tell me in the comments, won't you? Because then I can order some more. Okay. Letting it cool down for a bit. The oils go hard in the paste, so it becomes rock hard. Up to a minute in the winter you can hold it here for, to really get the bait to stick on. In the summer you're casting a little bit more, so you don't necessarily need to have that paste quite so solid, you know. So here we go. Right, I'm going to go slightly short off of there then. Or do I just, like, I can see the bottom there, it's 6-8 inches deep, so there's no point. So I am going to do under that sort of tree, I suppose, just off the bank, like that. That's a better depth than the last cast that was there. And this is where the chap, one of the chaps was saying to cast, well, not to cast, so they fish from there. But, you know, what options have they got? I suppose they'd cast there, but it's so shallow. Literally, it's a few inches deep, it's a foot and a bit deep, just off that little bit of weed there. So I really don't think I want to fish there at the moment. Maybe night time, completely different, you know. Well, I've just checked the SD card on my main camera here, and I've got an hour left. That's 5 hours 24 minutes, something like that, I think. So I've got an hour left on that. I've got just about an hour left on my head cam, but I've got less batteries. I've got, like I say, I've used 3. I'm on my 4th. So I've only got 1 battery left after this, and about 3/4 of an hour probably. No, about half an hour left footage on my head cam. I really do need to turn it off, I think. I won't film the journey. I'll do a little bit as we come out, just a little bit of B-roll for you, just to see going down the river. And then I'll probably turn it all off, skip and go straight to the mark, and then we'll be back to normal till I hear the first bleep of whichever camera runs out first. And then I'll have to narrate the ending because it'll just stop otherwise. Yeah. like I said earlier, if you're into your fishing and if you're a holiday, well, not said earlier, I said it in the last video, if you come to London on holiday from anywhere, you know, and you fancy a bit of fishing, all you need to do is purchase a EA rod license, which covers you for fishing with 2 rods, basically. You can buy 2 licenses, I think, and you can have 3 rods or something. It used to be 4 rods, but it might still be 4, I don't know. But if you come from anywhere really on holiday or just visiting and you fancy a few hours fishing on the River Thames, anywhere from Bridge down, I say anywhere, that's very general, anywhere there's good parking, good access, my videos basically, it's all free. So if you're coming from abroad, just grab a cheap fishing rod, 30 quid, you can get deals now, 30, 35 quid for a rod and reel, some floats and a few bits and pieces, or, you know, feeders, weights, whatever you like. You're only going to need a £5's worth of bait, 8 quid's worth of bait, that's it. Drive down there, get an ice cream in the car park, have a coffee, go fishing for free. And some of the spots are absolutely beautiful, you know, jaw-droppingly beautiful, so proper English sort of River Thames, you know. If you see it, like this view here, if I saw this view here now, I'd know I'm on the River Thames, just through the foliage and the designs of the houses and the bridges and things, you know. So, but if you're down this way, free fishing parking and access, like I say, 30 odd vids of that. But you know, I keep thinking I'm hearing boats coming up and down, but they must be on from some other little spot, I think. That's weird. Yeah, so if you're, you know, you like a little spot of fishing, if you're not serious, or if you're serious, you know, a lot of places you can night fish. There's very little rules and regulations on the free spots, very, very open, you know, which is a problem because there should be rules and regulations in areas. I mean, there's the obvious ones like litter and stuff like that, but nobody really, well, not many people give a monkeys about that, to be honest with you, with what I've seen. That's not true. It's the few, again, that let the side down, you know. So, but if you're interested in it, I've got loads and loads of that on my free fishing playlist. I get loads and loads of messages over time. It's like up to 8,000. I've answered nearly over 8,000 messages now, actually. So I do answer all the messages I can. If you're rude, then you get deleted. If you're nice, it stays. And I will respond to you, as you know, as soon as possible. If you've got any questions about the fishing, that side of things, you know, on the free spots that I know, you know, in the comments, just ask. Glad to help. It's the whole reason why I do these videos, you know, is to help people. Maybe the slightly older generation, or maybe the blue badge holders, that registered disabled, that type of thing. You know, there's a lot of people who can't walk down the riverbanks anymore with their tackle and stuff, and some of the messages I've had have been absolutely amazing, saying how they remember walking down there with the family, or they're a bit older now and they can't really get out, and they just like watching the videos because it's their old haunts where they used to walk their animals, you know, the dogs and that. So I love that. I love it. It warms the cockles of your heart, as they say. Well, it's been quite a while now, and I've only got about 45-50 minutes left on my main camera. So on that GoPro there, the main wide angle view. So I'm gonna probably move for the last 3/4 of an hour. I can't believe I haven't caught from here. Up here earlier, I honest to God thought I was gonna get a monster. I'm coming back up here and I'm gonna sort it properly. So there's two spots I want to come back to and hit hard. Now, one was the trip the other day, and this one up here, I'm going to spend a bit more time up here, I think. I'm going to give it a go. I've got lunch and meat. I'm going to try some trotting with bread, that type of thing, I think. So make it quite a nice day, hopefully. So I'm just going to move to the next spot, but I'm not going to film it because I don't want to show where it is. As I said, I did make a promise. It's not like me to do that, but, you know, it's just respectful, isn't it? So I'll motor out of here. A little bit of B-roll on the way out, just a short trip up to maybe the bridge and a little bit further, just so you get to see. And then you'll see me at anchor at the last spot that I pre-baited this day, today, but the first half of this video that was shown probably last week. Oh God, I can't believe I've said that, but yeah, I think you get the message. So I'm going to turn everything off, then I'll suddenly appear, in theory, at the little spot that I pre-baited earlier. So I'll get the last 3/4 of an hour in there. Okie dokie, wish me luck, and hope I don't crash into anything, because I am going backwards, so we'll see, won't we? Oh. So I've just turning the camera around. Typical, isn't it? I think I might have just foul hooked a small, I don't know, roach or maybe a skimmer or something. I'm not too sure. Or it might be a perch, actually. Let's have a look. Oh yes, I've foul. Oh, it's a roach. I've foul hooked a roach. Can you believe it? Oh, that's my day, isn't it? That's just typical of my luck at the moment. My God. Oh, it's okay. It's only in the dorsal. Oh, there we go. Oh, I can't believe it. Can you? Look at this. Hold on. She's a lively one. Big fat, well, small fat roach. River Thames roach. Lovely. Sorry about foul hooking you. You don't count. You know that. There it goes. That'll be all right. It's only a little nick. Right, back to the trip back to the last swim then. Right. Do a quick U-turn. And let's go for a little jaunt.